Everyone's been talking about DeepSeek R1, the new open source AI language model from a Chinese company called DeepSeek AI. Some users claim it matches with or even better than OpenAI's O1 model in terms of reasoning capabilities. If you don't know what is OpenAI's O1 model, it's a premium AI model in ChatGPT, which OpenAI is selling for $200 per month. And DeepSeek is giving you that level of performance for free. Sounds amazing, right? But it does raise an interesting question. How are they covering the server cost? Running an AI model like this is not at all cheap. It needs super expensive hardwares. But still, why are they providing such a model for free? The most logical answer could be data. You see, data is the lifeblood of AI models. Just like how the blood flows through our brain, the data flows through AI models to make them function. So they are likely collecting user data in some way that improves their financial trading models like quantitative trading models or some other form of monetization. Now, if you care about your data privacy but still want to use DeepSeek R1 without sharing your data, the best way is to run this model locally in your own computer. In this video, we will explore what DeepSeek R1 is. We will try the web version of DeepSeek. Also, we will set up DeepSeek R1 model in your local computer and discuss why you should run this model locally. Alright, what is DeepSeek R1? Well, DeepSeek R1 is a large language model developed by DeepSeek AI, a Chinese AI company that uses reinforcement learning to enhance reasoning capabilities through a multi-stage training process. A key feature in this model is its reinforcement learning process, which is used to refine the model's responses beyond the standard pre-training and fine-tuning process. Those of you who don't know what is reinforcement learning, it's a type of machine learning where a computer learns to make better decisions by trial and errors or by receiving rewards or penalties for its actions. Let's take an example of a child learning to walk for the first time. At first, the child doesn't know how to balance. They take a step, wobble and fall. But what happens next? They try again and again. Reinforcement learning is a process where an AI agent learns by receiving rewards and penalties. Just like how a parent cheers or smiles when the child takes a step forward, they're essentially giving a positive feedback, a reward. This makes the child happy and encourages them to repeat that action. Now, when the child loses balance and falls down, they feel a little discomfort or they feel a little pain. This is like a penalty for making the wrong move. The child realizes that didn't work and adjusts their steps, learning to move in ways that lead to more rewards, like staying balanced. Similarly, in reinforcement learning, an AI agent tries different actions. Good actions get rewards and bad actions get penalties. Over time, the AI figures out the best way to achieve its goal, just like the child eventually learns to walk. The way this DeepSeek works is, it takes your prompt and starts thinking of what context the user is asking question, and also refines its response by looking at the question from multiple angles to provide the most accurate answer possible. As more and more people interact with this model, it is going to become much stronger day by day, because learning is a continuous process and this model is designed to learn by its own mistakes. From a technical standpoint, DeepSeek R1 is built on its foundational model called DeepSeek V3 base, which is a bigger model, and DeepSeek R1 is a distilled version of DeepSeek V3 base. Now, it's important to highlight that this DeepSeek R1 model is open source, meaning anyone can take the underlying code base, modify it and even fine-tune it for their own needs. This means if you're running a business and have enough data, you could even customize this model to work specifically for your use case with your own branding. That's a huge deal, especially for a model of this quality. Alright, I'll show you very quickly how you can use DeepSeek web version, and then we will set it up on your local machine. Go to deepseek.com and click on this Start Now button. So here you have two options, Deep Think and Search. So this search is a real-time web search and this Deep Think is our R1 model. When this Deep Think option is enabled, it will think deeply on your question and then gives you the response. Okay, so you can also disable it and I will keep it enabled. So let's ask a question. Hi, what is your name? Okay, this is one thing about DeepSeek. So it goes to the thinking mode before it gives you the response. Okay, looks like the server is busy. Let's regenerate. Sometimes we see server is busy because this is free, right? Many people are using it. So if it was able to generate the money, then they would have increased the capacity of the hardware. Now you see it is giving me the response. The response is, "Hi, I'm DeepSeek R1, an AI assistant created by the Chinese company DeepSeek. How can I assist you today?" So before it gives me the response, it is actually thinking all of these things. Let's see what it is thinking. Okay, the user asks, "Hi, what is your name?" I need to respond in a friendly and helpful way. Okay, it is telling itself I should do this. I should be, I should be friendly and helpful way. So it goes on and say, first I should greet them back, then state my name as assistant, but maybe I can help it a bit more engaging by adding an emoji. Let's see if it has given me the emoji. I don't see any emoji here because it is, it is thinking further and deciding whether I should really give him the emoji or not. Okay, somewhere here it decides I should not give the emoji, so that's why it decides not to give me the emoji. But the point here is it actually refines the responses and sees the user's question from multiple angles. So that's what it is doing here, and after thinking for 18 seconds it has come up with this response. So let's ask another question. I want to become an AI engineer. What programming language should I learn? Okay, let's see what it gives and what it thinks. Okay, so it has started thinking. Okay, the user wants to become an AI engineer and is asking which programming language to learn. Let me start by recalling the common languages using it. Python is definitely the top one because of its library and TensorFlow and PyTorch. But maybe they don't know that yet. So it is actually assuming that the person who is asking the question may not know what is Python. It is trying to understand the user's point of view. So it also says I should mention Python first, explain why it's important, then maybe other language like R for statistics. You see, but Python is more versatile. Also C++ or Java might be useful for performance critical parts. Okay, so there are so many things it is thinking, and it is also deciding I should structure the answer starting with Python, then others, maybe a touch on frameworks and tools. Then it is saying need to keep it clear and engaging. Let me think if I'm missing any important points. See, here it is checking whether it has missed any important points, and then it realizes, oh right, mentioning cloud platforms and deployment could be helpful for a well-rounded skill set. You understand this? So it is actually coming up with a response and also refining that response to come up with the best possible answer. So now it says to become an AI engineer, Python is the most essential programming language to learn. So it dominates AI ML. So all these things, this is the response it is giving. Now you can of course play with this DeepSeek and see. Also you can compare it with the ChatGPT. The only thing I don't like is the response time, because it thought for 12 seconds. Previously it thought for 18 seconds. We are used to get the responses very quickly. We use ChatGPT, Find and other Gemini and all those AI tools, right? But still it is acceptable because DeepSeek is free. Okay, I will not spend a lot of time on chatting and playing with this DeepSeek because we all know how to chat with ChatGPT and other AI tools, right? Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how we can set up this DeepSeek R1 model in your local computer. Okay, but why should we run it locally? See, the web chatbot and mobile app for DeepSeek are free and super convenient. You don't need to set up anything, and you get the cool feature like deep think and web search built in. But there are some solid reasons why you should run this DeepSeek R1 model in your local computer. The first concern is your data privacy. When you use the web or app versions, whatever you type and any files you upload will go to the DeepSeek server for processing. But what happens to that data? We don't know. But if you run the model locally, everything stays on your computer, meaning you have the full control over your data. Also, running the model locally means you don't need an internet connection, so you can use this model anywhere, anytime. One more reason why you should set up this model in your local computer is because right now DeepSeek is free. But let's be real, how long will that last? At some point, they'll need to start charging or limiting access. Maybe they'll start charging subscription fee. If you set it up locally, you don't need to worry about future restrictions. Finally, one more very important reason why I would personally set it up on my local machine because of its flexibility. With the local version, you're not limited to the default setup. If you want to tweak the model, customize it for your own needs, or build a custom interface, You have total freedom to experiment and build your own version thanks to its open source nature of DeepSeek R1 model. Let's now go ahead and set up the model in your local computer. So to run DeepSeek R1 locally, we'll be using a tool called Ollama. Ollama is a free open source tool that allows users to run large language models or LLMs locally on your computers. And it is available for Mac OS, Linux and Windows. So let's go to ollama.com, and the first thing that you have to do is you have to download and install this Ollama on your computer. So I'm right now using Mac OS. You can use Linux or Windows as well. Let me click on this download for Mac OS. Okay, it is getting downloaded. All right, let me double click it, and this is the setup file of Ollama. Simply double click and install it. All right, welcome to Ollama, and let's click on next and click on install. Let me give my password. All right, so the Ollama has been installed successfully. You can click on this finish button. So now you can open the terminal. If you're on Mac, you can simply open the terminal, and if you're Windows, you can use the command prompt. All right, so to verify if this Ollama was successfully installed or not, you can simply say Ollama space -v. Okay, so then it will show you Ollama version 0.5.7. all right, so now the Ollama is installed, and then the next thing you have to do is to search for the model. So right now it is showing me DeepSeek R1. Also you can search for DeepSeek here. It will give you the first result, that is DeepSeek R1. Okay, this is what we want to set up in our system. All right, now the main thing that you have to notice here, you see the 7B, right? So this is the 7 billion parameter model, and there are like a 1.5 billion parameters models also available, and also 671 billion parameter is also available. But as the number of parameters increases, the size of this model will also increase, right? So 1.5 billion model is just 1.1 GB, but 7 billion is 4.7 GB, and 8 billion parameter model is 4.9 GB. Similarly, 671 billion parameter is 404 GB. Of course, we don't have this much of storage. Also, it needs a high level GPUs. Okay, so let me show you the GPU requirement. So this one you see here, 671 billion parameters. It needs it needs the virtual RAM of 1543 GB with a multi GPU setup, NVIDIA chipset and all that. But of course we cannot run that. We can go with the 7 billion, or we can go with the 8 billion. Okay, otherwise you can also go with the 1.5 billion if your system is entry level laptop or computer. But what is this parameter, right? So you see this 1.5B, 7B, 8B, 14B. Parameters in AI models are like the internal settings that the model learns from data to make the predictions. Think of them like the adjustable weights that the model tweaks to improve accuracy. So as the number of parameter increases, we will need the higher level of GPUs, and the size of the model will also get increased. So for testing purpose, we can either go with the 1.5 billion parameter, 7 billion, or 8 billion parameter. So I have like a 4.925 GB extra space in my system, so I'll go with the 8 billion parameters. You can also go with the 7B or 1.5B. So if you notice, there is no much difference between 7 billion and 8 billion. So that's why, so you can go with the 8 billion. Okay, simply click on this 8B, and you will see this command that you have to run in order to get this model. Okay, so simply copy this one and go to your terminal and paste it. The moment you hit enter, if the DeepSeek R1 8 billion parameter model already installed in your system, then it will automatically open up the chat window for you. Otherwise, it will download it from the Ollama. Okay, the download has been completed, and you can see I can now chat with the DeepSeek R1 model. Now let me ask the same questions. Hi, what is your name. And again it goes to the thinking mode and it is actually thinking. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, see, as you can see, greetings, and this is the thinking process, and this is actually the response. Okay, so greetings, I'm the DeepSeek R1 artificial intelligence assistant created by DeepSeek. And you see we have installed DeepSeek R1 8 billion parameters model, right? But the one that we were using in the web version was, I think it is 671 billion parameters model. Okay, but this one, you see here, it is 8 billion parameters model. Okay, so I will ask another question. I want to become an AI engineer. What programming language should I learn? The thinking process can be different because this is the lower model. Okay, but this one was the higher model, so maybe it thinks a little bit more than what we have installed here. But remember, this model uses reinforcement learning. As you interact with this model, it will become better day by day. So let me hit enter. So it looks like it is a little bit faster than the web version. Okay, so it is thinking, and if you have time, you can read the thinking process as well. And you see it is giving me the it is giving me the response. Okay, so first number it is giving is Python. Looks like it is giving some of the programming languages and libraries. Okay, so the response is like, if you want to become AI engineer, you will need to learn programming language. Okay, so machine learning. Okay, the first number is Python is the most widely AI development. Python is excellent for prototyping and developing machine learning models, data processing, and creating AI powered applications. Then after Python, it is also telling me Java, C++, JavaScript, Rust, and also it is giving me the PyTorch. It's a Python based library, and also it is giving some reasons why should you use these languages. And finally it is saying, if you are in just starting out, I recommend beginning with Python because it's easier to learn and has a lot of resources available. So this is the kind of response it is giving me with the DeepSeek R1 8 billion parameters model. All right, I will ask one more question. Please write a Python program to find a factorial of a number 5. Okay, let's see what it gives us. And one more thing I want to show you here, you can also disconnect from the Wi-Fi. It still works. Okay, so right now I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. Still it is giving me the response, you see. So that's one of the best thing about having an open source model in your local system. Okay, so I think it thought a lot about how to find a factorial of a number. First, I remember that a factorial of a number is the product of all positive integer. Okay, it is actually brainstorming, and it just talks to himself and asks himself some questions like what is factorial of a number and how does it work and everything. So after that, it will conclude with the maybe, I hope, yeah, it has generated the Python code. You see, it is taking n variable, factorial is equal to 1, and running a for loop and the factorial of a number like this. Okay, so looks like the program is correct, obviously. So this is how you can use the DeepSeek R1 model in your local computer. And if you need some help, like, you can simply say / question mark and hit enter, and you will see that set / set you can write to set the session variables. And if you want to show the model information, you can see, and you can save and load the model. And also to clear the session, you can use this clear command and by to exit, and other shortcuts. Okay, so this itself is a lot to cover in one video, so I think it will need a dedicated course on DeepSeek R1, but this video is about setting up the DeepSeek R1 model in your local computer. And with that said, if you exit from this section and want to come back to the chatting, how you can do that? You can simply say /by, /by to exit from this section. And if you want to start chatting again, you can run this command again, Ollama run DeepSeek R1 :8b. Okay, so since this model is already downloaded, it will directly take you to the chat itself. So that's about setting up DeepSeek R1 model in your local machine. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.